if you're a creative, or if you make art, or in general a maker or creator of anything, I think the best thing you can do is to try to monetize and sell your art or your creations. So if your goal is to become the best creator that you can be, the best artist, the best software developer, the best game developer, whatever, I think the best thing you can do is try to monetize it. And here are the reasons why, basically. So a little bit of history before I get into this. I've come to a few realizations about making creations and turning them into a product, because I've recently started working on a video game which I'm going to release in 1 month, and I had to make a decision: do I put it up for free, or do I put a price on it? And my goal with this game is to learn as much as I can about game production, and just pushing out a game and publishing it, and getting making it into a thing that people want to play and people enjoy and derive value from. And so I have no expectation of making any money from this, but despite that, I still have decided to put a price on it. Okay. Now you might be wondering, wouldn't distributing it for free give me more valuable information because more people would download it? This is a definite fact. More people would definitely download it if it was free. Okay. But I've still decided to put a price on it, because I think the quality of the feedback that I will get is going to be much higher. And the same applies to, I think, every single piece of art that anyone might produce. So, for example, if I put this game up for free, maybe 30 people will not free, sorry. If I put this game up for like a few dollars, maybe like 30 people will download it, okay, and buy it. And those $90 or whatever that I get from the game aren't gonna be worth, compared to how much it's costing me to make it. But compare this to the second scenario, where if I put this up for free, maybe like, I don't know, 300 or 3,000 people download it. Now, what I would say is, most people in the free scenario would not be keen on leaving me criticism or feedback, which I think is useful. What they would, all of the frustrations, the negative and the good stuff that they experience while experiencing my creation, would have this background radiation of, oh, I got this for free, and so I better be nice or whatever. And the feedback that I would get would be mostly useless, I think, because the frustrations that they experience, they got the game for free, right? So whatever. So most likely they won't even leave a review or any sort of feedback unless I ask it. And if I ask them, they will most likely be nice. Okay. This is also one of the reasons why you should never get. You should get feedback from your friends and family, but you shouldn't pay any attention to it, basically, because they're not willing to compromise your relationship to give you objective criticism, basically. So they'll always be nice, and they'll bullshit you and whatever. Who won't bullshit you? People who think that they owe you something. And the best way to find those people is to sell them your thing. Okay, so if I put it up for sale and 30 people buy it, maybe like 3 people or 1 person will leave a review, and that those 3 or 1 reviews are going to be much more valuable to me than maybe the 30 reviews or 10 reviews that I would have gotten if I had put it up for free. Okay, because that 1 person is going to be frustrated about something, or glad that they paid money for this, and the frustration points that they will have, they'll tell me about it. Okay, and I think this applies to every single piece of art or creation that anyone makes. So if you make some sort of software that helps you with exporting things or whatever, open sourcing it and whatever is great, but you could do that, and also you could provide binary builds or whatever, an easier access to your software, for money. Okay, the hackers can download their own, can build and compile their own binaries from source, I guess. So the main goal, I think, of any creator should be, in the long term, to become the best creator that they can, and not to just make one little perfect thing. I think selling something, if you make something physical, if you build something, or if you draw something or whatever, I think selling it is a way to put a period at the end of the story that you've written for this, for the journey that you went through. Okay, and the same is for, I guess, digital media as well, to a lesser extent. The thing is, creatives, I think, like to get lost into their perfect little creations, just working and perfecting and polishing their one thing, and that, I think, is sickness, and that prevents you from improving, prevents you from actually going up against reality, because at the end of the day, you want your stuff to be objectively good. I mean, if you want your stuff to be objectively good, this is what you should do. If you want, subjectively, it can be anything, whatever. So it has to meet reality, right? And I think the more often that it meets reality, the more often you can pay attention to, the little things that pop up, which show you whether you did well or you did badly. So for you to sell something is to finally, like the Marie Kondo line, thank it and, put it on its merry way or whatever, send it on its merry way. That's not the Marie Kondo line. you get what I mean. The cleaning up lady, whatever. So basically, it has served its purpose. It has made you a better creator, and now it's time to let it go. And whatever price you can sell it at, that tells you about its objective, value to other people, and whatever feedback you get from the people who buy or pay for your stuff is going to be valuable, because that is the point at which it meets your art meets reality. So the more often that you are able to do that, the more quickly you can learn, and you can improve your creative ability. So I forgot to add one thing here, which is that as a maker or creator, I would pay more attention to the behavior of my consumers rather than their words, because behavior tells you about what they truly think or what they don't know they think, and words can be sometimes bullshit, right? So another thing is that if a person is willing to part ways with their hard-earned cash for your creation, that says a lot about the value they think they can derive from your creation, and that's that's great. You want to be at that place, I think. In general, if a person is paying money for something, yet they're still complaining about it, their behavior says one thing, their words say another. In that case, behavior is what you should look at. And that's what I would do, and that's what I do. That's the second part. The third part is, the third reason why you should try to sell your art is, well, it's actually, you get to learn how to sort of value your own work, okay? I've seen lots of artists or software developers or game developers or anyone, or creators, who never show their things to other people, or never get feedback on it, and never try to sell them, and all the opinions that they have about their work are created from are constricted to the perimeter of their room, basically. If they don't put it out into the world, they don't get they won't exactly know if the world likes it or not. And that I think sometimes leads some artists to devalue their work or think they're way too good. Okay, so the less it touches the world, the less your creations touch the world, the less the more offset there is going to be between its actual objective value and what you think it is valued. So to put this in concrete terms, release your music track, release your art or whatever, and then some people might say, "Oh, this is amazing," and they might exceed your expectations. Okay, the way it's received. And the reason why this happens often is because you're locked in your room for so long, staring at this one thing, that you sort of get used to its good and bad quirks. Okay, and whenever someone else from zero experience to this creation, when someone else sees this, their reactions are going to be raw and much more different than yours, most likely. So there's been countless people who think their creations suck and they're bad, and then when they release it, turns out it has a what's the word? It turns out that it has wide appeal. Like, for example, one game is Vampire Survivors. The developer didn't even know that it would resonate with people. He put it out and didn't even check its stats for a week. It turns out in that 1 week, the game blew up and hundreds of thousands of people had bought it. Okay, and there's plenty of indie game developers who put really cheap prices on their games compared to how I think they should value it, or how other people should value it. Like people who have been working on a game for 4 years and they put it up for like $4.99. That's kind of crazy. At least $10. Come on. But yeah. So those are my points, and that is the reason why I will be putting my game up for a price. Yeah. And just in general, any creation.